Hi, this is Professor Mel. I'm actually trying something new and doing a video announcement for week 4, module 4. And so I just wanted to let you know that I was really impressed reading your module 2 journal reflections, and now I'm looking forward to reading your writing plan for module 3. I did want to clarify some things moving into the next half of the term. I can't believe we're almost halfway through. First of all, the writing plan that you just turned in, you should upload that to the grade center in Blackboard. And you are looking at some of the other critical elements for analysis. I did want to clarify that there is a difference between analysis and summary. So a lot of you have been doing a lot of summary of the actual article, which is a good place to start in the introduction or as you're providing some details about the article throughout. But for the most part, an analysis is something that is more like a review of the entire article or whatever text it is you're reading. So you want to pretend that you are a reviewer and not just a summarizer of the content. And you can do this by looking at a variety of different sites. I'm going to actually put them on the announcement text this week. But looking at the writing plan, you're looking at the author's claims, you're looking at their key points, of course, and their own goal for writing. But then you want to think about what you are taking away from it. So I talked about in some of your essays that you either agree or disagree with the article. That's a good start, thinking about whether you agree or disagree with it, but you don't have to vehemently agree or disagree with it. You could have a mixed review. You could show the pros and cons of what the author's doing, what the author's doing well. Maybe they have a good tone. Maybe they have a lot of detail. Maybe they make a strong argument in one topic, but not the other. So you can have a mixed review. And sometimes I think mixed reviews or mixed analyses are actually a little bit more authentic because you're looking at all sides of the writing. You're really looking at the text as a piece of text. To give you an example, there have been plenty of essays throughout the last 10 years of my teaching that I haven't agreed with necessarily, but I grade them with strong scores because they're good, well written. So there's a difference between writing well and looking at what writing techniques are used, and we're going to go through a couple of those right now, opposed to looking at what a summary of whatever the main ideas was, just kind of regurgitating whatever the main ideas were in the essay. You want to go above and beyond that. And so audience is a big one. You want to think about not only the intended audience of the author in the article, like what groups of people would be interested in reading this besides me, and besides other professors or academics, but also who your audience is and what other groups would be interested in reading your review of the article. And so you want to think about who the intended audience is, who the audience isn't. Sometimes the best way to define things is what things aren't. So think about what groups wouldn't be interested. You want to think about age. You want to think about maybe gender, depending on your topic, whatever it is. And then you also want to think about what format they used. Was it well organized? Was it clear? Did they ramble? Think about the content of the message, what terminology they used. Did they bring in a lot of detail or outside sources? You want to think about what their intention was. Was it to argue something? Was it persuade? Was it to be more informative? Was it to teach and engage you in a different ways? Was it to entertain? And so as you begin to think about a reviewer, you're really picking apart. I mean, that's really one of the definitions of analysis is picking apart. So you want to pick apart that. And you also want to think about how the form and content go together, what their message was, how you actually went about looking at their message, how they're communicating their message, and does their message fit whatever detail or content they're giving? Do they need to add anything? Do they need to remove anything? Do they need to move something further up in the essay? Organization, coherence, all matter. So all of these kinds of questions you want to be thinking about in the back of your mind as we move through this writing process. The second half of the writing process, we're going to look at, like this week, you're looking at paraphrasing and quoting and summarizing, but you're looking at it for that critical analysis paper still. So you want to be thinking about, as I think about directly quoting or paraphrasing different sources, how am I going to use that skill then in my critical analysis? How I'm going to bring in details from the text, maybe more direct quotes, maybe more paraphrases. How am I going to use that to be a better reviewer and write a better critical analysis paper? So I just wanted to clarify that. I thought it might be easier to talk about the differences between having a critical analysis and a summary and a video. Plus, you'd be able to see me. Hi. In good old Madison, Wisconsin. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can always email me at m.freitag@snhu.edu. I'm always around email. And I usually get back within a few hours. But I just want to clarify that because I wrote a lot about the differences between summary and analysis and a lot of the feedback that I gave for the Module 2 journals. So I look forward to reading your writing plan. And if you have any questions this week, there's not a discussion board going on Module 4. You'll be doing a lot of quizzes and stuff as it relates to APA and MLA citation and paraphrasing and quoting like I talked about. But if you have any questions for me, I'm always around. You can email me and we can figure out a way to address a lot of your questions and or suggestions that you have. And like I said, we're almost halfway. So congratulations on week 4. And I look forward to reading all of your writing plans. Take care.